Hi, my name is Bibek Adhikari. I am an English instructor. In today's class, we are going to solve the reading and listening portion of Unit 6, that is A Cruel Landlord. So let's begin. Right now, we are going to start studying Unit 6, and the title of the unit is A Cruel Landlord. Under this section, we shall be doing basically two things. The first thing is reading about the cruel landlord, followed by text, so reading comprehension and listening exercises. We're going to do two things. Once again, reading comprehension and listening exercises. So we are going to do these two different things. So let's begin. Now let's look, listen, and say. What did you do yesterday? I went to a party. What did you do there? I sang and danced. Oh, really? How about you? Well, I went on a picnic. How was it? It was lovely. So, this is the conversation that goes between two people, A and B. And these two people can be anyone, it can be your best friend, or someone you know, someone you like. So let's assume that A is Radha and B is Krishna. Religious, isn't it? All right, so they're just talking. They're talking about their past activities and the things they did. So, yeah, they're talking about their past activities. And more or less, they are also talking about their habits. So that's what's going on. Once again, let's practice reading it. What did you do yesterday? I went to a party. What did you do there? I sang and danced. Oh, really? How about you? Well, I went on a picnic. How was it? It was lovely. All right, so let's move on to another topic. So you can also have similar conversations like this. All right, let's try having similar conversation. For example, go to a wedding party. What did you do yesterday? I went to a wedding party. So that's how we can have conversation. Let's start with the first one. Visit my uncle. So you can ask, what did you do yesterday? And remember, this is going to be a fixed question, so you're not going to change it. What did you do yesterday? It's going to be fixed. So the question is, what did you do yesterday, right? We're going to ask a question, and the question is always, what did you do yesterday? Now, we can answer it based on the given prompts, based on the ideas. So these are the questions, in fact. So we have 5 different options. So let's try from these options. You can say, first way, I went to visit my uncle. Or you can say, I went to see a dentist. Something is wrong in your teeth and you went there. Or go to the cinema. You can say, I went to the cinema. Go to the zoo. You can say, I went to the zoo. What did you do yesterday? I went to the zoo. What did you do yesterday? Oh, I did something very exciting, and it was I watched the football match, something that I have never done in a while. So you did it something interesting. All right, you got the point? So yeah, you can say it on different ways, in different ways. All right, the question is going to be same. The question is always, what did you do yesterday? Or what did you do yesterday? And the answer can be, I went to visit my uncle. I went to see a dentist. Visit my uncle, see a dentist. I went to the cinema. I went to the zoo. I watched the football match. Now you can have similar conversations. Okay, I guess you can have similar conversations now. Now let's move on to a poem. All right, here's a chant or a poem. We're going to chant it, but before that, let's have a look at the picture. The boy is actually dreaming, or let's say daydreaming, thinking about the consequences of a fish biting his finger. So that's what he's thinking about. All right, so these are more, the boy seems to be daydreaming. He's thinking about something. He's thinking about what it felt like when a fish bit his finger. Okay, let's read the chant now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger so. Which finger did it bite? This little finger on the right. Very interesting, right? So let's read it once again. It's pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger so. Which finger did it bite? The little finger on the right. Interesting, right? So let's try to fill up the crossword puzzle now. So this is the crossword puzzle and we are given no hints at all. It's going to be pretty tricky now. So it starts with R. Let's try. Could be right. R-I-G-H. T. Alright, it works. Now it starts with fire. F-I-N-G-E-R. Could be finger. T-E-N. 10. Let's go with A. Starts with A and goes A-G-A-I-N. So looks like again. So yeah, I think we need to make a little change to what we have done previously. Now this seems like the final answer. Starts with F and goes finger, R-I-G-H-T, right, and then 3, alive, 8, 10. So I think this is the final answer. It was a little confusing. It was puzzling, so it's called puzzle. Puzzles are puzzling, right? So yes, it was a bit puzzling and I was puzzled just like this boy here. So I was confused in a way. Anyway, I tried finding the right answer, so it seems like the right answer. Let's move on to the listening section. Okay, look, listen, and do. Look at the picture and answer the following question. Who are laughing and seem like students to me? So you can say, students are laughing. The answer can be students are laughing. What came out of the bag? So what does it look like? It looks like a frog. Now let's go to the listening section and find out the actual truth. I'm Priti. Yesterday was a bad day for me. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I missed my tea because I was late. I couldn't have a wash as there was no water. Mr. Gurung, my English teacher, was very angry with me. I was late for my English lesson. When I opened my bag, a big frog jumped out of it. Everybody was frightened. They also laughed and laughed and laughed for a long time. So that is the story in here. A frog came out of the bag and everybody started laughing. And this woman seems like Mr. Gurung. I don't know why, but that's what it is given in the text. So it is in fact a big frog. And everybody started laughing. So everybody is the answer, or more like all the students started laughing. That can also be the correct answer. Let's listen to the teacher tape again and take the best answer. We have already listened. You've listened to me, right? So let's find out. So what is the right answer? Preeti got up at 8 o'clock. Correct. She could not have a wash because there was no, is it bathroom or soap? Why? So what is the correct answer? Because there was no water. A frog came out of a bag. That's right. That's the answer. Alright, so let's move on to the reading portion now. Okay, read and answer. What made the landlord a good man? So you're going to have to find out the reason. As you can see in the picture, there are farmers who are working very hard. And there's the big fat guy standing in front of them, probably very angry. So he doesn't look like a good man to me. Does he? Okay, let's find out what actually happens in the story. Once upon a time, there lived a landlord. He was a bad man. He was also very cruel. He never smiled and he never laughed and he never danced. Because he never smiled or laughed or danced, He never allowed his servants to smile or laugh or dance. Sounds like a boring man, right? Let's find out what happens now. So his servants were sad all the time. They worked all day long in the field. Sometimes the landlord did not let his servants stop, rest, or eat. When the servant asked him for food, he shouted, "No, keep working." A bird lived high up in the sky. She watched all this for a long time, and she could see that the landlord was very bad. She flew down and began to sing a beautiful song. When the people heard the song, they stopped working. They smiled, they laughed, they danced all over the field. Interesting, isn't it? So let's find out what happens next. The cruel landlord came out of his house and shouted, "Stop!" Then the bird said, "Landlord, you've been very bad. You didn't give your people food. They couldn't sing or laugh or dance, so I'll punish you." The bird sang her song again, and the very bad landlord danced. It's not landlord, I guess it should be landlord, right? So he smiled, he laughed, and he danced. He danced for 3 days and 3 nights. He could not stop. After 3 days, he fell down because he was so tired. "Bird, please stop your song," he said. The bird stopped singing. The landlord said to his servants, "Look, I've been a very bad man. From this, I'll be a good man." Then he gave his servants food, and they laughed, and they smiled, and they danced. And that was the end of very bad landlord. Truly amazing if you ask me. So, landlord, from being the bad one, went on to become the good one. See the progress? Right? Yes. Okay, now it's time for me to give you some homework. Your homework will be very easy today. All you've got to do is read the story one more time and summarize it in a paragraph. Okay, so that's going to be your homework for this day. With this, we've come to end of today's class. If you have any question or suggestions regarding these video series, feel free to write us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you.